Hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night Live Chat. My name is Kathryn Kauffman and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. I have my little baby cat with me because we were out of town for a couple of days and she was kind of upset. So I thought if I held her for a few minutes she would get over it more quickly. But anyway, I'm just going to let her roam around in the room. If she cries out, you'll just have to excuse her. Hey, everybody. So tonight I want to talk about angel encounters. And I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what kind of angel encounters that you guys have had. And we're going to talk about the characteristics of what an angel encounter is and what angels are. Hey, Joshua. Yes, doing good. It was a great holiday. Hey, Heather. Hey, Jennifer. I hope you guys had a good holiday. Hey, Louise. Oh, no voice. Let me check this sound. Let's see. Hang on. Now, check my sound for me, folks. Sound check. Let's do a little sound check. Hey Melissa, hey Chantel, hey Deborah. Do I have sound now? Can somebody chime in and let me know if I have sound? Okay, good. I just forgot to turn the volume up on the phone. But anyway, we just breezed back in town from Paducah, so I haven't been home even an hour. So we've just been rushing around here, and I was getting ready for the show. And I was telling you earlier, that's my little cat, and she was upset about us being gone. So I had to pamper her a little, just to get her to cooperate for the evening. Okay, so angel encounters are what we're going to talk about tonight. And I want to hear from you guys what your angel encounters have been. Do you feel like that you have had an angel encounter before, and what was it like? And if you want to, just type in what happened. I'll take a look at it. There are certain characteristics of angel encounters that I kind of I researched it on the way to Paducah and was looking at all of the different encounters that people were reporting, and there were classically 5 characteristics of an angel encounter. So let's just start with those, and then we'll go into some encounters, actual encounters, including my own. So the number one thing that I found, hey Shelley, is that they appear during times of crisis or emergency. Thanks for the hearts. So that number one, always appear during times of crisis or emergency. Number 2, they appear to apparate to more than one person. In other words, it's readily known and documented that several people will see the exact same thing, or you'll have a group visualization of the exact same thing. Hey Chastity, so that was really kind of strange for me because you know. And then they say, well, it could be mass hallucination. Well, what is mass hallucination exactly? I mean, how are all these people seeing the same thing? They haven't ever explained that to us. Hey, Judy. Hey, Ruth Marie. Hey, Mary. So, that was number 2. They appear to apparate to more than one person. Number 3, their presence always provides comfort in a visual way. In other words, the visual identification of what is happening is always comforting to who it is happening with or to. Hey Ruth Marie, hey beautiful, right back at you. So the visual that they portray to the people that they're showing themselves to is always comforting. There's never an unsure or evil sense to it. Hey Danny. So that was number 3. Number 4, they classically may perform life-saving measures or deliver messages of significant importance to help the person along their path in life. So that's number 4, life-saving measures or providing a message that helps in some way. And number 5, the last one that I found in all of my research was many times they're described as a glowing light. In other words, there's some kind of glowing light in association with their presence or the things that happen in the situation. So, hey Danny, why don't you tell us about your experience with angelic beings? So, those are the 5 things that kind of all went together with some of the angelic encounters. And here's something else that was really interesting as well. The last poll that they did showed that 8 out of 10 Americans believe in angels. And in the Bible, there were specific reasons angels appeared, and today they do the same thing. In other words, there's specific reasons why they show up or why you have an encounter with an angelic being. Hey, Elizabeth. So let me read you one of the encounters that I ran across in my research that was really interesting. And like I said, I hope you guys chime in and let me know if you think you've had an angel encounter, what it was like, what happened, what did you see. And after I read this one, I'm going to tell you about my personal one. So this is a story of Dr. Frank Oski, and he is a physician, and he was in residency when he saw an angel appear as bright as the sun in a dying patient's room. The angel, and he says, I don't know what else to call her, said that life is an endless cycle of improvements and that humans are not perfect yet. She said that most people have this secret revealed to them when they die, but that handicapped children often know this and endure their problems without complaining because they know that their burdens will pass. Some of these children, she said, have even been given the challenge of teaching the rest of us how to love. Oski wrote about his experience in a major pediatric journal. I thought that was really interesting. And I wonder how the pediatric journal responded to this article that he wrote. So, hey, Miss C. So Joshua has a question. Do they present themselves as they appear in the biblical sense, or as a normal everyday person? I have heard of these stories where a person appeared out of nowhere and they are suddenly gone. Yes to both. They appear in the biblical sense, but they also appear as just a plain old person. And that takes us into my encounter. And I hope Linda Tipton is watching, because this happened on the way to see her. I was driving to Frankfurt, and I had an old Dodge truck. And suddenly, when I pushed on the accelerator, the truck wouldn't go forward. It just went to the floor, and the truck started to slow down. So I was like, oh my gosh, because I was on the interstate. I pulled off, and I noticed that a big red 18-wheeler pulled off behind me. So the guy got out of the truck, and he came over and asked me what happened, and I told him. And he said, I think I have something that will help. So he went back to his truck and got this big black zip tie, got under the hood. He zip tied something down there. And he said, okay, try the accelerator now, see if you have any tension on it, which I did. And so I thanked him and everything, and I got ready to pull out, and I was testing to see if the truck would go, and it started going, and I looked in the rearview mirror to see and wave, and there was no 18-wheeler there. So I was like, oh, okay, that must have been an angelic encounter. And so what I did was, just because my mind wouldn't accept it, I went a little ways up the road, and I pulled off the side of the road, and I waited just to make sure nothing was going to, like, that truck wouldn't come by, because my logical mind was having trouble accepting that. So I waited about a half an hour, but of course it never went by. So then when I got home that evening, I lifted the hood up, and I looked, and there was that black zip tie. So I was like, I did not hallucinate it. This is tactile, this is real, it's physical. So Chantel has a comment. She used to work at a front desk in a hotel, and while the hotel was actually empty, she got stuck in an elevator with 2 luggage carts, and the door was about 3 or 4 inches open. And she was a few inches down from, let's see, I have to go down in the feed to see this. 3 or 4 inches open, I was a few inches down from the floor. I could not move, and after calling for help, even though I knew no one was there, since I could see through the crack, and after a few minutes I felt the heavy cart being actually lifted and pushed back, and the elevator went down. I just know it was angelic help, and there was no noise and no one there. Yes, absolutely, Chantel. That is a really good angel encounter for sure. Hey, Joshua. Yes, such as an accident. A lot of these encounters were automobile accidents. And here's one, let me read to you. This was another physician, Dr. Ron Phillip, was driving to an Alabama church event when it started snowing. His car skidded towards the edge of an embankment, losing control of his car. He told Charisma magazine he prayed to God, and the Lord commanded Philip to tell his angel to help him. Seeing a faint glow, the angel was sitting in the passenger seat. Later, a state trooper wondered how Philip made it through the dangerous road, wishing him and the passenger a safe ride home. Philip was the only person in the vehicle. So, that is pretty dang cool. I love that encounter. Oh, thanks, Ruth Marie. She's commenting on my hair. Thank you, thank you. Now, next month, this is supposed to be silver, so we'll see how that goes and how it looks. Deborah has a comment. While giving birth to my first child, who was 2 months premature, an emergency C-section, I felt the strong presence of 3 angels in the upper corner of the room. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people in their encounters refer to the upper corner, either left or right of the room, and the presence there. Now, my experience and what I used to see as an ICU nurse, that's the corner. It's either upper right or upper left, less on the left, more on the right, were the deceased family members that were coming to help the person cross over. Hey, Tessa. Pardon me, Danny has a comment. Will angels change their form to make themselves acceptable to the human recipient's preconceived understanding of what angels look like? Yes, because all of this takes place in your subconscious communication. You have a learned response of what you expect to see, and they can telepathically know that and project that to you so that you are able to identify what they are. So Joshua has a comment. What makes angels different from a spirit guide? Spirit guides are different from angels because angels are non-human. Spirit guides are usually people who've passed on from a previous life, or maybe even people from the family of that person that are acting as a spirit guide for that person in this incarnation. Hey, Val. So, and that's a good question, Joshua, because a lot of people get mixed up with angels and spirit guides. So I was also looking at the definition of an angel, and this is a spiritual being believed to act as an attendant, an agent, or a messenger of God, conventionally represented in human form with wings and a long robe. So even though they're not human, they present as human. Okay, so hang on a second. Do you hear that crying? That's her. So she's been missing us. So when I come back, this is what I have to do, is I have to hoist her up here and pet on her. I know, honey, I'm sorry. So she gets all out of sorts when we go out of town. So we just have to pamper her a little bit more. So angels are typically described as benevolent. They can be dreadful, endowed with wisdom and knowledge of earthly events. but not infallible, because, you know, and it only takes a second to please her. As you know from stories in the Bible, they can wander off the good path every now and then. So, oh, and I was going to also go into, yes, angels do have spiritual missions, it seems, and some of the research that I was doing, they do have spiritual missions, which was interesting, like as a messenger of sorts, or as a savior of sorts. So you have angels that strictly step in to save, and then angels that strictly deliver just messages. So let's see, we have some more comments here. Hey, Guadalupe. Okay, yeah, Chastity. She wants a series on spirit guides. I have actually it's a 3-part series on spirit guides and some videos on spirit guides. So after the broadcast, what I'll do is put some links, probably tomorrow, I'll put some links in the comment section. So go back and look, and we'll do spirit guides online and live chat also, but I do have some, they're newsletters. It's a 3-part newsletter series on the spirit guides. Yes, Deborah, yes, absolutely. Hey, Tiffany. So, let's see, let's check our time. We've only got a few minutes left. So you guys chime in and let me know if you have any questions about angel encounters. I still would like to hear more. Hey, Scott, about if you guys have had any angel encounters and what were they like. Even though we're going to end in just a few minutes, if you will type it out in the comments, I will address every single one of those stories and let you know what I think about it. Now, in a lot of the research, even though the angels help humans, they're still superior beings to humans in power and intelligence. They can be good and bad, as we well know. And now, one of these references says that they can be guardian spirits. Some of the angels can act as intermediaries between heaven and earth, and they act as a guardian spirit between these two realms. So they're not a personal guardian spirit or spirit guide, but they act as an intermediary between the two realms. So that I found was very interesting as well. So let's see if there's any more comments. Sandy has a comment. My husband and I were having some really tough times financially and otherwise. I was so upset. I woke one night to see my dad, who had been gone for years, standing and smiling by the foot of my bed. Oh wow, that's a really neat vision there. Let's see. Okay. He told me everything was going to be okay, to keep praying, and that God was with her. Absolutely. That is so comforting. And you see, that is the number, was it number 2, about providing comfort is one of their primary directives or primary goals. Let me get back to my notes. I think that was number 2. No, that was number 3. Provides comfort in a visual way. So Danny has another question. Can fallen angels, what in some Christians call demons, spiritually grow and reach a higher vibration again? No, they can't. And that's one thing that we often discuss when I'm doing some counseling with people is there's a certain point of devolution that this entity cannot go back from. Like up to this certain point, an entity can change direction and start to evolve and quit devolving. But once they reach a certain point, that's no longer possible, which is unfortunate. So Joshua has a comment. I was having a dream about my mother who is deceased. As I began to open my eyes, I saw a flash of light behind me. It wasn't a very frightening experience, very calming, and I went back to sleep. I had needed closure from dealing with her death. Can our deceased loved ones team up with an angel during those difficult times? Yes. And they will take guidance as to what to do for you during those difficult times from angelic beings, because angelic beings are so much more intelligent and powerful, and they can implement things easier and better. So in a way, they kind of show the human spirit how to make contact, how to deliver a message, how to present themselves. And so in a way, they're helping us on this side, and they're also helping the spirits on the other side too. Hey Julie, hey Sharon, hey Lisa. So I'm gonna one more minute for comments or questions, and then we're gonna have to hop off of here. Let me see if there's anything else in my notes. Yeah, I just wanted to give you all a few encounters, including my own. And what did you think about my truck driver angel? And for those of you that missed the first part of this and you missed that part, you know, you can replay this, and also all of these episodes are going to be loaded up onto my YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch on my YouTube channel anytime you want. Thanks, Chastity. Thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm winding down from that trip, and I have some cat babysitting to do this evening. So listen, if you enjoyed this little mini broadcast about angel encounters, please share this with your friends. Share it with your friends. And also follow me on Facebook and hit see first on notifications. And anytime you want to go back and look at any past episodes, just go to my YouTube channel, and I'll put it in the comments. Just hit the link and go and watch some of the past episodes. Okay, you guys, I'll see you next Monday. Next Monday is a surprise on what's coming up. I'm going to surprise you, so be looking for the postings. And kisses from Kentucky. And I will see you next Monday night, same time, same place. You guys have a happy holiday.